Cute one.
Anyway, let's get back to I don't know what I'm talking about. Back to the NFL. Dalvin Cook and the Vikings visiting the Chiefs this weekend. This is a fascinating matchup. Cook is the league's leading rusher. The Chiefs are 30th out of 32 teams in run defense. And an area where Cook specifically excels is in running to his right side. He ranks 5th in the NFL with over 6 yards per carry on those attempts. The Chiefs' defense, on the other hand, ranks 30th on rushes to that side. So this is strength against weakness. Bobby, you're going to show us some tape. What do we expect?
And we're going to see why Dalvin Cook is so good. Let's take a look at the film here and show his explosiveness and the push that this Minnesota Vikings offensive line is being able to get over that side. Seeing an 8-man box against the New York Giants. 2 safeties or a linebacker down. Right guard, right tackle. Look at the push that they're able to get to fan out, climb up to the second level to give this hole for Dalvin Cook. One of the most explosive guys. If you're going to give him a yard of space and get up to that linebacker, it's going to be a wrap. He puts his foot in the ground, accelerates through against a defense that isn't very good in the New York Giants, but it's about the same as the Kansas City Chiefs, and Dalvin Cook knows how to finish off a run. Chiefs defense. Safeties down in the box again, 8 men up front that they're going to have to be taking on. Looking at the right side of that offensive line, left side of the defense, and the push that the Ravens are able to get, pushing them down the field, opening up a hole for Mark Ingram. Up front, they can't get off the blocks. Mark Ingram, he's not near as fast as Dalvin Cook, but he's able to put his foot in the ground and finish this thing in the end zone, Greeny. Chiefs offense, fantastic. Defense is improving, but their rush defense is still not there yet.
I like these that you do every single week for us here because I play the daily fantasy, and so Dalvin Cook suddenly becomes a very attractive player for me this week. So that's the Minnesota side of this. Yeah. I want to talk about the Kansas City side of this because Patrick Mahomes, and we can sit here and debate whether he's better than Aaron Rodgers or not. That itself tells you everything you need to know about him. If he's not 100% himself, if he can't run around back there, football's not a sport where we traditionally sacrifice a battle to win a war. Do you sit him?
Yeah, I sit him. I definitely don't let him play. And I think their head trainer, Rick Burkholder, who's like the best in the National Football League, he's going to protect Patrick from himself. Coach Reed will protect Patrick from himself. They do as good a job as any team in the NFL of making sure that it truly is player first, player health first, player wellness first. And Pat Mahomes, they know he's the future in Kansas City for a long, long time. They will not throw him out there if he's not ready. He won't play this week.
Mark, what do you think? I mean, if it's you, you know you're going to be telling them I want to play.
He's chomping at the bit to play. I know for a fact. He wants it bad. He's a competitor. He wants to lead that team. That's who he is. That's in his genetic makeup. But like you said, protect him from himself.
Here's the question.
Don't ruin this for the long
Let's
long
just
run.
think this through. They're not catching New England for the 1 seed.
Yeah.
But no team in the last 8 years has played Wild Card Weekend and made it to the Super Bowl. So the 2 seed is very important. You sacrifice a game or 2 along the way, becomes a little dicey proposition.
The thing is, if you put him in there and he's not healthy and can't move, then you may be sacrificing 3 or 4 games down the line. He had a bad ankle going into that week when he hurt his knee. So he's now rehabbing an ankle. He's rehabbing a knee. Let's get him healthy. Get him all the way there. They'll make a run at the end.
And let's remember this, too. Now, that game they lost to the Green Bay Packers, Matt Moore played more than well enough for them to win the game. The defense is the issue.
Yes.
The defense is going to be what caps Kansas City's upside, just like last year.
And Rodgers went off.
Well, when they have Mahomes, they can overcome whatever the defense is.
Sometimes, if you can't get the ball back at the end, like against Houston, then it doesn't matter who's
Whoever
playing
has the
quarterback.
best.
That's right. But in one way or another, the one thing I took from this is I'm going to get Dalvin Cook this weekend. We're on top of it. SportsCenter comes your way 6 o'clock Eastern tonight after PTI. Sage and Kevin with a look at Kyrie and the Nets, their keys to winning against Harden, Westbrook, and company. Details surrounding Nate Diaz and his drug test controversy last week. We'll talk about that in a moment. And Tom Brady evaluates Lamar Jackson ahead of Sunday's showdown with the Ravens. It's SportsCenter after PTI on ESPN and the ESPN app. Hold on. Whatever everybody likes the Cowboys. Hold on. Something just happened.
What's up, y'all?
I said,
what's going on?
You know what?
What's up, baby?
I said, where's Stephen A. when you need him?
I had to come to see the Chippendales crew right I had to see it. No tie on, the shirt, the button open. How y'all doing? Everybody all right? I was told y'all were looking for me.
Yes.
Is that true?
Go ahead.
Yeah, because actually, Mark. Mark Sanchez, tell him what you said. Tell him what you said, Mark.
I just said,
Tell him what you said about the Cowboys.
Best teams in the NFC. I said, don't forget the Cowboys. And
No, he didn't say don't forget them. He didn't say don't forget them. He said they are.
This is so worth it. I'm
He
glad
said
I
they
said
are.
it.
Cowboys.
Talk to me, Stephen A.
Green Bay.
Dak's my guy.
Green Bay. San Francisco.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw him
Excuse
play
me.
last night.
Seattle.
All right.
New Orleans. I just gave you 4.
All right.
You know what that shows,
Just
right?
wait.
Know what that shows, right?
What?
You used to play for the Jets. That's what that shows.
Oh my God.
That's what that shows. Only a former Jet would make that mistake.
Will you please tell him just to remain patient, because I promise you, they will let you down.
They will let you down. You got to just wait. Don't panic. I mean, listen. Listen. It's not the holidays yet. We don't want the Dallas Cowboy fans miserable just yet. We want them going this way. We want their hopes to ascend. And then all of a sudden, right around the holidays, my preference would be when the Christmas gets open. Not when Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is about fun, football, and family. But when it comes to Christmas and you're opening the Christmas gifts,
that's sad.
What you want to do at that moment is right around the time it's time to open those gifts. All of a sudden, bam, they collapse. Y'all have a nice day.
Stephen A., thank you. Stephen A. Smith and Company.
Yeah.
So happy. Do I still have time for bold predictions? All right, we'll save them or we'll do them. You tell me, right? We're doing this on the fly. We're not doing them now. So we will hold off on that for a couple of minutes because we have one other piece of business we got to get to. Tomorrow night is a huge night at Madison Square Garden. All eyes will be on the main event of UFC 244 as Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz will meet for the newly created BMF title. And that is the baddest, and I'll let you fill in the other 2 letters on your own. You want to compare the two? Masvidal has had 15 knockouts in his career, one of which came in his last fight when he won in just 5 seconds. Diaz won his last fight in August after nearly 3 years away from the octagon. According to Caesars, winning this one may be tough. He's currently the underdog in his fight. And Chael Sonnen is here as we look ahead to what really is one of the most interesting nights that we've seen in the sport in a while. Welcome, first of all. I've had Masvidal in here a couple of times, and that dude is nuts. I mean, I find myself moving in this direction as he's talking, but give us a sense of what we should expect to see tomorrow.
Well, you were a very good judge of character. He's a rough guy. You remember Roberto Duran?
Yeah.
Roberto Duran used to lie about his age to go in there and fight grown men to put food on the table for his family. That's the same thing Masvidal used to do. He was fighting illegally in backyards. The promoter would film it and put it on YouTube. Now he's going to headline Madison Square Garden, and to act like that's not gritty and tough and a success story. Come on. It's impressive.
How much pressure is on him being the favorite and especially coming off of what was a 5-second victory in his last fight?
Yeah, it's really tremendous. He's never been flying higher. That's actually a record knockout. That highlight you just played was the entire fight. Record knockout. And now he's going to Madison Square Garden. I won't make believe that he doesn't have pressure, but I also won't make believe this isn't an opportunity that he deserves.
Nate Diaz coming off an impressive win after a 3-year hiatus. He's obviously a name that we know well from his legendary fights with McGregor. What do we expect from Diaz?
Look, history says if you sit out 3 years, you don't get to win a fight, particularly at Madison Square Garden against George Masvidal for a title. However, he should have won his last fight against a former world champion. He walked through him 3 rounds to none. Who knows? I must tell you that. Who knows? There's a lot of questions, but they don't get answered until tomorrow.
If he wins tomorrow, do we then start talking about him and McGregor again?
I think that's right, Ben. I do take Dana White at his word, where Dana will say, look, that's an ace up the sleeve that either one of these guys can throw on the table. They could throw it on the table after 2 losses. That fight still works, and I agree with Dana.
Okay, so for folks who are getting set to watch this who may not know as much about it as certainly as you do or even I do, give me a stylistic thing. What should we be watching for early when these two first meet?
Okay, look, this is a main event that's very relevant because now it's scheduled for 5 rounds instead of 3. Nate Diaz is most known for his cardio. He likes to come on late. He'll take some kicks. He'll take some punches early to give it back to you in the later rounds. I think that favors him. Bad news for Nate is Masvidal likes to throw those kicks, and Masvidal usually does not get tired.
Yeah, Masvidal, again, I've never had Nate Diaz in the studio. I'm sure he's a frightening individual also, but Masvidal genuinely, he's got the difference in him this week. He was in here, and you could see in his eyes, like even 5 days before the fight, he was ready to go.
Sure. A lot of guys say they want to do this sport. Masvidal means it, doesn't he? You can tell he's found the right career path.
Well, he looked at me and he said when the fight was hanging in the balance, when Diaz had that drug testing controversy, he was like, I was afraid I wouldn't have a face to punch. And that's when I started just moving in this direction.
Smart.
It's UFC 244. It's at the Garden. It features the card of the year. The main event on pay-per-view is Masvidal and Diaz, a battle of welterweights that'll start at 10 Eastern. To order the main card in English and Spanish, go to espnplus.com/ppv.